What's up, Jackson, Mississippi? Yeah, this is a Saturday morning. I just had to come on here, because I wanted to do a little special, a special session today. In today's video, I want to talk about what's going on in the city of Jackson with that water system. I was reviewing something that I was reading. I did some research, and I was reviewing something that I was reading about Judge Wingate's decision that he made uh, this past week, on the the water system. I'm sorry, but it's funny to me because it was something that I didn't said all along, and it's like I don't know, it's just falling on deaf ears. Okay, but anyway, but I was reviewing it, and sometimes it takes you a time. Sometimes you got to read things two times or three times over to kind of get a grasp of what really is being said. It's not even sometimes now. It don't necessarily sometimes be a word issue or a definition issue. It could just be kind of absorbing it and kind of really like processing it. That's kind of what I had to do. It took me a couple of days because I just kept reading this thing and reading this thing, and I'm like, and then I went to start thinking about. I've been thinking about a lot of different things, and one of the things I started thinking about, dang, what does this in the airport got in common? Oh boy, I got some stuff for y'all today. Yo, just think about it. Jackson, yo, Jackson, I really want to talk to you for a minute. Real talk. Just think about this for a minute. Now, as you know, I hadn't did the research yet on that airport, but the airport had a $2 million surplus when former Mayor Tony Yarbrough was in office, right? Remember that. But then all of a sudden folks started acting a clown, started becoming a political issue, and they started taking it into court, tying it up in court, and all that kind of mess. Okay, hold that thought. Think about that for what I'm finna say. All right, I want you to hold that thought. Now, these folks came in here after former Mayor Chuck Charleston didn't tend to the water because he was dealing with the trash, this, that, whatever, and neglected the water. And they came in with this fellow from up north, Ted Henerfin, just to come out, kind of help out a little bit, whatever, and give his expertise and take charge of things. But then they granted that cat what? $800 million for this infrastructure. Right? That bread ain't spent. That bread tucked away. This cat got a turn. He's trying to do the right thing. Look, I got my issues with Ted Hennepin. You know what I'm saying? And the whole entire system. It's the sensitivity. I'm with Stokes on it, but that's a whole nother issue. Let's talk business here for a minute. Business. And I want y'all all think about let's say politics. Let's look at this from a politics perspective. Right? Alright. You got that $800 million deal. Okay. Now, he ain't gonna be in here forever. That man is retired. He got, wife, whatever. He don't want to be down here. He want to be up north. So he came out here temporarily to help out, get the infrastructure moving, this, that, whatever. Boom. Now, all of a sudden, they want to come up with this Metro Jackson water deal where they got 9 members. Yeah, but Holzman got a pick. Ridgeland got a pick, Byram got a pick, Mayor got a pick, Governor got a pick, right? Okay, so we got this 9-member board. If I miss somebody, I apologize. But we got the so-called 9-member board, right? Pay attention. Pay attention. We got this 9-member board. Now, with this 9-member board, supposed to be most of them is appointed by folks from what? Either they're from out of town, they're from two from another city, and the other ones from the state. And it's not fair because this belongs to Jackson, and the mayor only get 2 picks, which that got to be approved by the city council. Cool. My question today is, why did they decide to do this and not just transfer it back over to the city? I've been asking that question ever since this came up. Why did they decide to do that? Why did they decide to have this 9 board member? Okay. So Judge Wingate, if you ever see this video, kudos to you, my friend. Because I'm going to tell you something. You understand civics. This is a separation of powers issue. And you can't get no better than that. You can't create no board member deal. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's promulgated for the state or in the city, and then the federal government got control over it. They got to release those powers. They got to release those powers. This is a separation of power thing. Don't anybody know civics anymore? But goes back to my question. Why are they going to try to release this thing to a 9-board membership? Because I'm just going to give it to you straight up. I ain't going to sugarcoat it, and I ain't going to put you in suspense. Because there's an $800 million deal in this here, and they don't want them black folks over the city council and anybody over here in Jackson to create the bonds for it. Just like they did with that airport. Keep that a buck. Come on, man. Anytime when there's bread involved, man, look out. They're going to put politics in it. They're going to put politics in it, and then they're going to put people that don't even belong to the community in it. When there's money involved. You take control of your neighborhood and watch how outsiders come. Take control over your neighborhood and watch they try to change laws, statutes, codes, and zones. If you got bread, case in point, big shout out to what's the name of that funeral home? Jackson Memorial. That cat over there for rebuilding that community center over there. Right? Alright. Homeboy better not do no more. Because the lash he going to get back. It's going to come back to him. He going to get the backlash. Because I'm going to tell you straight up and down. Anytime when money's involved, other communities is going to come out and see what you're doing. And I'm speaking to you black folks. Keep it real. Keep it a buck. Alright? I'm telling you. That's what this is all about. Ain't about money. It's nothing. It's all about Federal Reserve notes and who's got control over it. Think about it. Just come on now. I'm sorry I have to pause. Because it's funny to me. Let me ask you a question. If there was no $800 million, right? If there was no $800 million, would they develop this 9-member board committee? Because think about it. If that was the case, why did he devise this plan before Ted Henerfin came in here? Why did he devise this plan when Ted Henerfin came in here? You gotta think about this mess. Because it ain't nothing but politics and money. And I don't care how you cut it, black man, black woman. That's what this is about. You older folks know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're viewing this video and you're not an older person, ask. The older folks know what's happening. See, you got to understand patterns of people. When you understand patterns of people and the way they move, then you'll understand what's going on in the present. See, the pattern of people in the past tells you about the pattern of people in the present. That way you can, when you propel into, you'll know when you propel into the future what to expect. You got to understand this. The patterns don't change. I hadn't seen them change. Okay. Just open up your eyes and see what's going on. What my man MC Ren said back in the days, open up your eyes and look. It's a lot of stuff going on. Just open your eyes and look. Every day, a young brother get took on the street by police. You know the rest. It's like they got somebody hung on a short leash. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to have you hung on a short leash. They keep you on a short leash because that's how they get control. See, that's all metaphoric in my opinion, in my mind, as I got gotten older and I review that song, because that police represents system. System. They wasn't really saying F the police, like, you know, it's the system. It's the system. And what system is that? Any system that wants control over your neighborhood. They want control over your neighborhood. That's the reason why I tell black folk, you need to get it together. You need to get it together. I ain't finna be controversial. I ain't finna do none of that mess. Only thing I'm down for is us. It's us, straight up and down, because we need to get it together. We got to get it together. We have to. We have to, because the one who got the money got the control. Ain't that what John D. Rockefeller said? He said, you can keep your laws. I want the bread. He said, keep your laws. I want control over the finances. And that's what he did. They understood that with these world banks. That's how they took over the planet. Why do you think these wars is going on? Man, this is a banker's war. What you think the Holocaust was about? What you think that war with Russia and a potential Russia in Germany was about? It's a banker's war. All that's banker's war. This right here is banker's war. It's finance. You honestly think how that war got financed? Do you think Ukraine and Russia is financed themselves? You think the United States and Iran financed themselves? All this crap is bankers' war. It's bankers' wars. All of it. ALL. I'm telling you, you need to black folks wake up. That's all I'm gonna tell you, to wake up. We sit around here and we protest these and protest that and this, that, and that, and we need to get our own. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be real. If you're busy with your community, making sure that the youth in the community, when they're out of school, they got something to do. They done shut down the community centers. You can't get a community center in here unless it's zoned, unless it ain't interfering with Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA. Come on, let's keep that book. Let's keep the why is that going? Why is that? They want a monopoly on that. When the kids in your local neighborhoods need somewhere to go because those places is full. And you got to get in at a certain time. What is that about? Control. So this is why I said we need to get control over our youth. Give them something to do. Pay them $25, $30 to come cut your grass. What's wrong with that? Instead of paying one person to come cut your grass all the time, which that's not a problem, but give them an opportunity. This is how we get control over our community and our children, by giving them something to do and not being afraid of them. Not being afraid of them, because if you think about this for a minute. If you put money in their pocket, how the hell are they going to take from you? Why would they going to take from you? I ain't going to say some of them ain't shiesty. Some folks here is shiesty. Some of them kids, they be trying to get over. But the kid that's out there that's trying to do something, folks ain't going to try to take nothing. Them kids ain't going to try to take anything. They just want a chance. They just want to check. But this is how you get control over your community. We got to come up out of that mental blockage that has been residued in our minds for decades. Oh, these kids ain't gonna do nothing. Man, they ain't had no kids around here. The kids ain't gonna do nothing but go to the park and play around all day long. Bro, is this how you get control over your community? It's not just in your house that a family prays together, stay together. The whole community. Let me tell you something. I got a neighbor right next door to me. Exactly right next door to me, and I really don't know him. I don't know them. I've talked to him. I've never conversated. Only thing I did was trade mail. Their mail came over to my house, and I walked over there to return their mail, and they did the same for me. But we never conversated. That's wrong. Is that community? Is that community? No, it's not. All right. Plane landed. I just wanted to come on here and kind of. I really want to harp on this airport. On the airport. I really want you to see what does the airport and this mess got in common with this water. It's about money. Open up your eyes.